The third quarter continued in much the same vein as the second quarter, with markets generally strong but with heightened volatility. The US stock market led the way, with technology shares being particularly firm. Emerging market equities were also strong. And while the UK and European equities were up in absolute terms, they were definitely relative laggards. We also saw a lot of strength in credit markets. Like many investors, we've been surprised by the strength of the rebound in markets. Obviously, we've seen significant quantitative easing by central banks and support for economies by governments, but we still see there are risks going into 2021 unless there can be a vaccine developed, accepted and widely distributed. Despite our relative caution, we've maintained significant exposure to growth assets. As a result, our funds have participated well in the rally. As at the end of September, all our member funds were either in line or ahead of objectives. Looking beyond the pandemic, we see there are other short-term risks. The first risk is around the US election. Clearly there are pros and cons to both candidates, but we anticipate that if there's a clear winner and a smooth transition of power, the markets will take either result in their stride. The concern arises if there isn't a clear winner and the result has to go to the courts. So in 2000, when Gore and Bush were disputing the result of that election, markets were more volatile and the US stock market lost significant ground. The second risk that we see concerns Brexit. At the time of recording, there's an increased probability of a no-deal Brexit, and this is causing uncertainty in markets. History suggests the negotiations with the EU tend to lead to a last-minute deal, and we think markets would welcome that. In the meantime, we expect more volatility, particularly in the pound. On the positive side, we've made good progress with our search for infrastructure managers. The due diligence process has taken slightly longer than planned due to the pandemic and travel restrictions, but we anticipate announcing the winning bidders in the new year. We're particularly encouraged by our ability to get exposure to renewables because this will help transition our portfolios to be in line with our ambitions for moving to a low carbon economy.